The fear of starting over when your timeline gets destroyed. They never told you that life could fall apart, even after you did everything right. This is for the people who've had to rebuild from the rubble, who watched the timeline they planned go up in flames, and now wonder if it's too late to start over. If that's you, you are not broken. You're being rebuilt. Let's talk about it. Hey family, welcome back to the Get Up, Show Up, Never Give Up podcast. I'm Kiana, and today's episode is a little heavier, but it's one I know you've been waiting for and have heavily requested. This one is for the dreamers who've hit delays, for the fighters who feel like they've fallen behind, for the strong ones who thought they'd be further along by now and are scared to start over again. You're not lazy. You're not cursed. You're not too late. But you are in a space that requires healing and strategy. And today we're going to walk through how to rebuild your fire, even when your timeline got destroyed. Let's go. Let me tell you about the time I thought my life was over. I had a whole plan. By 25, I'd be living independently, running a successful business, feeling like the version of me I saw in my head. Instead, I was in a wheelchair. I had lost my career. And the worst part, I didn't even recognize myself anymore. You ever look in the mirror and think, this wasn't supposed to be my story? That's what this episode is for. Because most people don't talk about the psychological crash that happens when your life doesn't follow the timeline you were promised. Let's go into a research deep dive. Timeline trauma and psychological distress. Source, Journal of Health, Psychology, 2019. Dr. Cheryl Pruitt. A longitudinal study followed 1,200 adults ages 25 to 55 over a 10-year period. Researchers found that individuals who experience unexpected timeline disruptions, such as chronic illness, divorce, or job loss, showed a 46% increase in depressive symptoms and 39% drop in goal-setting behavior, compared to peers who stayed on track. Why this matters. It's not just sadness. Your brain registers broken timelines as identity threats. You begin to question your worth, your direction, and your entire self-image. Implementations. The identity rebuild audit. 1. Write out the version of your life you thought you'd have by now. 2. Now circle everything on that list that's still possible, even if it looks different. 3. Make peace with what changed. Say out loud, my life is not off track. It's on a new path. This rewires the brain to accept where you are without judgment. Let's talk about social comparison and digital distortion. Here's the trap. When your timeline breaks down, your scroll speed picks up. You're watching highlight reels of people announcing marriages, new homes, six-figure wins, body goals, and suddenly your healing feels like failure. Let me tell you this. Comparison is not a motivator, it's a mirage. Let's get into a research deep dive. Social media and perceived timeline failure. Source, American Psychological Association, 2020. Study by Dr. Ethan Cross and Dr. Verdon. They discovered that passive use of social media, scrolling without engaging, for more than 30 minutes a day correlated with a 70% increase of feelings of personal failure, even when users had positive life circumstances. Why? The brain doesn't separate curated images from real outcomes. You assume your timeline is your measuring stick, and you always come up short. Here's an implementation strategy: the digital detox strategy. For 7 days, restrict social media to 15 minutes a day. Replace scroll time with build time. 15 minutes planning one action towards a new goal. Notice, are you calmer, more focused, less anxious? This shift realigns you with your story, not theirs. Let's talk about the fear of wasted time. You might be thinking, but I already invested so much time. I gave years to this dream, to this relationship, to this career, and now it's gone. And it hurts because now you're wondering, what was the point? Let me give you something that set me free. Nothing is ever wasted if it changed who you are for the better. The version of you who survived that season is stronger, smarter, clearer. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Research deep dive. Post-traumatic growth, PTG. Source, Tedeschi and Calhoun. Post-traumatic growth. Positive changes in aftermath of crisis, 2004 to 2019. This concept found that up to 53 of individuals who experience significant life disruption later reported positive psychological transformation, including greater appreciation for life, new purpose, and stronger personal relationships. Here's the key insight. Growth doesn't happen despite the pain. It happens through it. Implementation. Post-storm purpose journal. Write down 3 things you've gained because of the setback. Perspective, people you met, a new passion. Keep that list in your phone notes. When doubt hits, remind yourself, nothing was wasted. I became wiser. Let's talk about getting unstuck, moving forward. Sometimes it's not just fear, it's fatigue. You've restarted before. You've tried again. And now you're just tired. Here's what I want you to hear. You don't need a massive breakthrough today. You just need a micro shift. Let's get into a research deep dive. The power of tiny wins. Source, Harvard Business Review. The Progress Principle. Amable and Kramer, 2011. Their study of over 12,000 daily diaries found that employees were most motivated on days where they made small, measurable progress, even if the task was minor. Why? Tiny wins trigger dopamine, which increases motivation, focus, and emotional resilience. Implementation. Momentum mapping. Every Sunday, set 3 micro goals for the week. Examples: walk for 15 minutes, read 5 pages of a growth book, update your resume, end each day by checking off one thing. You'll build confidence before big success arrives. Building a new timeline that works. You've been told your dream expired, that if you didn't hit it by 25, 30, or 40, it's too late. That's a lie. What if your timeline was never delayed? It was just under construction. Research. Article number 5, Rewrite Mental Scripts. Source is Dr. Derailed, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. Her research into fixed versus growth mindsets found that the brain remains capable of transformation well into our 60s and 70s. People who learn to reframe failure as feedback achieved goals faster and with less burnout. Implementation. Future resume visualization. Write your resume from 5 years in the future. What accomplishments are in it? What job title do you hold? What habits helped you get there? This reprograms your brain toward possibility, not panic. Here's what I know about people like you. You don't quit. Even when it hurts, even when the dream got postponed. You don't need to apologize for starting over. You need to celebrate that you chose to begin again. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are being reborn with deeper roots and sharper clarity. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. New episodes drop every Monday and Thursday. Download the Mindset Shift ebook. It's on sale this week only with every apparel order. Shop the gear that speaks for your journey on getupshowupnevergiveup.store. Share this episode with someone who thinks they're behind. Tag Get Up, Show Up, Never Give Up on all social media platforms with your new micro goal, and I'll repost a few on my story. You didn't lose your chance. You found your fight. And the fear of starting over, that's just proof that what you're building now actually matters.